Gesheni, Shaun Wilkinson. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our visitor and our guest. My nickname is Gesheni. What does Gesheni mean? Gesheni comes from the clan, the Shiwa tribe. They call the Ndlovu clan. The animal that depicts that clan is the elephant. Now I hope, Nancy, nobody calls me Gesheni because I'm built like an elephant, but rather because of my ability to remember. Terence, you're going to use that joke again. Folks, in fact, Gesheni doesn't even mean elephant. Gesheni comes from the word igacha, which is leaf. It's got a different meaning. But there's a praise that is given when the Ndlovu clan enters a space. And there's a long praise in Zulu or in Xhosa that has the same meaning. Gesheni means the elephant. Quick reason why I was given that name. I'll share that with you in the end. I've always had nicknames. From birth, my father, after a night of debauchery, came to the Mary Font in Sunnyside and saw one child sitting in its crib. He says, I was the only child sitting in my crib waiting for breakfast. The rest were all swaddled, little cocoons, and there was a little Buddha, which he decided to nickname me Kahunda. Kahunda was an African leader who was rotund and often sat on a bit of a throne and looked like a little Buddha. And so my father, with a wicked sense of humor, decided to call me Kahunda. That name stuck with me for quite a while. Until I was about 5, I moved to the farm in the Drakensberg and grew up for a while with my granny. Having spent copious amounts of time in the sun, I developed a bit of a brown sheen. And one day, coming out of the fields, she said, "Kyk vir hierdie klein bushman," which in English is, "Look at this little bushman." Because all my family were pale, ginger, freckled cousins, and here comes this little brown kid out of the bushes. I think there was more money involved than suntan, but she called me Busman. And so that stuck with me for quite a while. Wherever I went, it was Busman. It kind of upset the coloured side of my family, but that's okay. We live and learn from nicknames. Nicknames are sometimes given to you for offensive reasons. When I was in a growing spurt, putting on a bit of weight, people called me Dickus, which is the thick one. It goes with the territory. When you're thin and live and running around on a squash court, they're not going to call you Dickus. They're going to call you Lightning Bolt. And then people keep that name for you. They keep your name that they even forget your real name. So when they see you after many years, I bump into friends from the army where I was in 1984, 85, 86. And my nickname then was Bulldog. And they don't know my real name. They go, "Hey, Bulldog, how you doing? What's your name again?" Because they remember the nickname, they don't remember the name. A couple of years ago, I went up to Botswana to convince some exile men to come back to South Africa. Very peculiar circumstances. I was the only white man in the audience. It was a Rotary club. There were 47 black men, all with a military background. And I had to do the keynote speech. Now what, you're watching them, they're watching you, you're watching them, it's very suspicious. What is this Malungu? It's another nickname for a white man. What is he doing and what's he going to say? And so I thought I'll break the ice. A very senior official sent me there, and I told these guests of Rotary that I had been sent to add a bit of colour to proceedings. And just like here, it was kind of awkward, a giggle, a laugh, a smile, somebody staring, somebody not staring, somebody nodding their head. And I thought, well, I'm breaking the ice because I'm not feeling welcome. And I made a lot of poor jokes, not dad jokes. But I guarantee you, by the end of my speech, I received a standing ovation. They decided after much drinking of whiskey to call me Bongani. Bongani means thank you, from Nyabonga, which means thank you for coming, thank you for speaking to us, thank you for sharing. And we all cheered each other through the night with my new exile name, Bongani. A little while ago, we had a leadership race. The person standing with me on the slate, they called him the Lion of the North. In the jungle, there are two kings. Some confuse the lion, others say the elephant is the actual king of the jungle. Having been brought up in a very humble manner, I thought I'm not going to usurp his authority as the Lion of the North. I'll simply be the elephant of the region. And so people started getting used to that idea. Whenever I did my campaigns, I added a little elephant. The elephant was my sort of slogan. And then we came on to the Ndlovu. Somebody walked ahead of me and did the prayers. I'm not going to repeat it. It's mostly in Zulu. But it's Boya Banyati, Ndlovu, Nkosi, Gesheni, which means the elephant. And then everybody started calling me the elephant. Nicknames are fun. Nicknames can be fun, they can also be hurtful. The fun part of a nickname, I knew a guy called E who helped me once. And I said to E, I owe you. Mr. Toastmaster.